Hello everyone, I'm Whscrow, and today we're going to travel through Fersa space. We have quite a lot to see, so get comfortable in your seats, fasten your seatbelts, and if you have some tea at home, now is probably the right time to grab it. Ahead of us are lunar colonies, giant storms, strange exoplanets, wormholes, black holes, and many other places where travel agencies still don't sell tickets. So, let's begin our journey. As you know, humanity has been thinking more and more about building permanent settlements on the moon. In reality, the moon is far from perfect. It has almost no atmosphere, temperatures change dramatically, and cosmic radiation remains a serious challenge. However, ice discovered near the moon's south pole could become a future source of water and fuel for lunar colonies. At first I thought, maybe I should just stay here. But then I remembered that we still have the entire universe to explore. So I changed my mind. Alright, enough joking. Let's travel a little farther and visit a true giant. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system. Its atmosphere is filled with thousands of storms of different sizes. Some of them are even larger than Earth itself. The most famous one is the Great Red Spot, a gigantic storm that has been raging for centuries. Wind speeds in some regions reach hundreds of kilometers per hour, while certain atmospheric currents move even faster. But don't think Jupiter is the champion of extreme weather. One exoplanet comes to mind, HD 189733b. Winds there can reach several thousand kilometers per hour. Compared to that world, Jupiter almost looks calm. Still, we'll postpone that trip for now. As long as we're still alive, let's head towards Saturn. This is Titan, Saturn's largest moon. And honestly, when I first learned about it, one question came to mind. Why did they store all the oil out here? Titan has lakes, rivers, and even seas, but not of water. They are mostly made of liquid methane and ethane. That's why Titan is sometimes called a world of black gold. Back on Earth, one little problem appears and fuel prices immediately go up. Meanwhile, Titan has entire lakes filled with these substances. The problem there is something else. Water is so cold that it's basically as hard as rock. So on Titan, water would probably be worth more than fuel. Jokes aside, Titan is one of the most fascinating places in the solar system. It has a thick atmosphere, an orange sky, and even weather systems. If space tourism ever becomes a reality, Titan will probably be one of the first destinations. Just don't forget your flashlight. The locals won't let you in without it. Now it's time to bend the laws of physics a little. Ahead of us is a wormhole. In theory, it is a tunnel through space-time that could connect regions separated by trillions of kilometers. Do wormholes actually exist? Nobody knows yet. But our journey continues. Let's leave the solar system behind and head toward our next destination. Our next stop is D137010B. This is a giant, gaseous world orbiting its star. Finding a solid surface here would be nearly impossible. The deeper we descend into its atmosphere, the greater the pressure and temperature become. The upper layers may contain enormous cloud systems and powerful storms. Scientists believe that some gas giants may contain atmospheric materials that behave very differently from anything we experience on Earth. You can't stand here. You can't build a house here. But the view is absolutely spectacular. Now let's pause for a moment. A large part of the universe may be made of something we cannot directly see. We call it dark matter. It does not shine. It does not reflect light. Yet its gravitational influence can be observed across entire galaxies. Simply put, we may have only seen a small fraction of what truly exists in the universe. Every star was once just a cloud of gas and dust. Over millions of years, gravity slowly pulled that material together. Pressure increased, temperature increased. Eventually, nuclear fusion began. And that is how a star is born. In short, even the universe has a rule. If you keep collecting enough stuff in one place for long enough, eventually something is going to explode. Our sun was born in exactly the same way. And who knows, perhaps somewhere out there, a new star is being born right now.
The Gliese 887 system, a red dwarf star orbited by two rocky exoplanets. This artistic animation shows their orbital paths and relative sizes. A journey to distant worlds. Gliese 887b orbits extremely close to its star at just 0.07 AU, completing a year in only 9.3 days, and is nearly 4 times Earth's mass. Gliese 887b orbits so close that it experiences extreme stellar radiation and intense tidal forces. Ahead of us is a black hole, a place where gravity is so strong that even light cannot escape. The closer you get, the stranger space and time begin to behave. And that's exactly why I'm choosing a safe distance. Well, theoretically. Our next stop is TOI 700e. This is a rocky exoplanet. Its size is quite similar to Earth. It orbits within the habitable zone of its star. That means temperatures there could potentially allow liquid water to exist. Of course, that doesn't automatically mean life exists there, but the possibility remains. And that's what makes it interesting. Imagine another Earth, different oceans, a different civilization. And their internet is probably still slow too.
Atmospheric density higher than expected. Magnetic interference detected. Sensors active.
Today, thousands of exoplanets have already been discovered. Some are gas giants, some are rocky worlds, and some are so strange that even scientists are surprised by them. The universe clearly does not suffer from a lack of imagination. Now we are looking at a rogue planet. It does not orbit any star. It is alone, traveling through the darkness of space. It may have once belonged to a planetary system before being thrown out. In short, this is the planetary version of, I don't want to stay here anymore. I'm leaving. but in reality, it is one of the most mysterious objects in the universe. Ahead of us is a red world. Its color may be the result of iron oxides, minerals, or atmospheric processes. From a distance, it looks beautiful. Up close, it could be a burning nightmare. In space, appearances can be very misleading. Alright, physicists may not like this part. We are now crossing the event horizon. Beyond this point, there is no turning back. Space begins to bend. Time begins to change. Everything becomes strange. There are many theories. However, visualizing this process is extremely difficult. I tried my own interpretation, and the result is what you are seeing right now. As for the explanation, a black hole's gravity tears apart and pulls in almost everything that gets too close. That process is exactly what is being shown in this video. How does it happen? Where does all that destroyed matter go? And what path does it follow afterward? Those are questions we still don't have complete answers to. In a way, black holes act like giant cosmic cleaners, constantly collecting material around them. The universe has a very interesting ecosystem. Another wormhole! But this time, it shines with a blue glow. Its color is caused by the collision and concentration of enormous amounts of energy. At least that's how I imagine it. This type of wormhole opens pathways across much larger regions of space, which means we can travel much farther than before. Definitely not toward the solar system this time. We are already around 200 light years away, and from this region, we are about to jump into another one entirely! LHS 1140b is one of the most interesting exoplanets discovered so far. It is more massive than Earth. Researchers believe it may have a thick atmosphere. Some models even suggest the possibility of oceans. Quite a few videos about LHS 1140b have already appeared on Fersa Space. I've visited this exoplanet many times, so if you're interested, you can check out different versions of it, whether in 360 degrees or shorter videos. This time, however, we're taking a deeper look. At the center of the planet lies an enormous ocean system. Massive oceans connect with smaller seas across the entire world. The planet appears to have fertile terrain, which means it could potentially provide favorable conditions for Earth-like life, at least at first glance. As for the surface itself, it resembles the climate of Antarctica. Imagine a giant exoplanet version of Antarctica. Depending on the season, temperatures may become much more comfortable, and under the right conditions, it could provide a surprisingly pleasant environment for future visitors.
Now, we are entering the Kepler 90 system. This system is special because it contains nearly as many known planets as our own solar system, although the environments here are much less welcoming. Kepler 90b, one of the innermost planets in the system. Temperatures here are so extreme that tourist season never ends. As you can see, this is a volcanic world. Unlike Venus or Jupiter's moon Io, the magma layer here appears thinner in some regions. Because of that, vast magma oceans can be seen on the surface. These oceans cool and harden for short periods of time, but due to intense geological activity, they heat up again very quickly. As a result, this world is almost permanently covered by molten landscapes. New magma constantly rises, creating fresh volcanoes and lava fields.
Kepler 90c. Hot, extreme, and completely hostile. Which is why tourist visas are not available. Honestly, you're better off observing it through a telescope. Your camera won't survive, your drone won't survive, and neither will your warranty.
The extreme stellar environment around Kepler 90c, where powerful stellar winds sweep across the planet.
Kepler 90I. One of the most interesting members of the system. Its discovery was confirmed with the help of artificial intelligence. Basically, AI looked at the data and said, "You missed a planet." Since AI helped find it, maybe we shouldn't expect life there. Perhaps robots will get there first. The planet experiences dramatic temperature changes, sometimes cold, sometimes hot. Although not extreme enough to stop future robotic missions. If one day a robot manages to land there and sends back photos to Earth, someone in 2090 is definitely going to brag about it online. The father discovered it. The son visited it. The father, unfortunately, has probably been rusting for decades by then. Kepler 90d. Bigger, more massive, more extreme. The universe clearly doesn't believe in moderation. Sometimes this world produces enormous clouds and atmospheric disturbances. Yellow clouds, green clouds, dark clouds. This planet is basically a gallery of strange weather. Kepler 90e. A giant world. Clouds, winds, a massive atmosphere. And not a single hotel. One of its most unusual features is the presence of enormous magma storms. Combined with crushing atmospheric pressure and violent winds, it's basically a free movie. The only things missing are popcorn and coffee. Although I wouldn't recommend bringing milk. You never know what strange chemical reaction might happen here. Kepler 90f. One of the largest worlds in the system. The view of its star would be spectacular. From a distance, it almost looks like an ocean world. But zoom in, and the illusion quickly disappears. The strange visual effects created by this planet are something you can see for yourself. Kepler 90g. A gas giant. Its size reminds us once again how tiny Earth really is. Yet somehow it still looks like it's storing oceans everywhere. Maybe it's preparing for the day it gets thirsty. I honestly don't know. The guardian of the outer regions of the system. A true giant. And our final stop in the Kepler 90 system. Definitely one of the most memorable monsters we've encountered so far. Watch carefully how its atmosphere and ocean-like layers are compressed under incredible pressure. Anything entering this environment would be squeezed and crushed beyond recognition. It would be like throwing steel into a giant blender and turning it into liquid. Human visits are definitely not recommended. As for robots, maybe after another 1,000 years of paperwork and technological progress. Wolf 1061c is often mentioned as a potentially habitable exoplanet. However, many things about it remain unknown. In short, it is a promising candidate. Personally, I wouldn't rush to move there. Knowing the universe, there is probably something gigantic waiting around the corner. And carrying giant weapons across interstellar distances doesn't sound very practical. Massive wormhole! Ahead of us stands a truly enormous wormhole. A structure capable of crossing unimaginable distances, so naturally, we're going in! Let's see what lies beyond. According to our route, the end of this journey leads toward the very edge of the cosmos itself! Beyond the edge of the universe, we have reached the point where the observable universe comes to an end. Beyond this boundary, there may be trillions of additional galaxies. Perhaps infinite space, or perhaps something completely different. As you can see, there are far more questions than answers here. That's why I won't say too much. Just watch. And imagine how enormous reality must be if this is only the part we are capable of observing. Maybe beyond this horizon lies something we have never even imagined. Or maybe there is simply more universe stretching endlessly into the darkness. the Creator. As you can see, everything we have explored appears to be part of something larger. Stars, planets, black holes, galaxies, all connected in ways we still do not fully understand. Yet one question always remains. If something has been created, does that mean there is a creator? And if there is a creator, who watches the creator? Perhaps the answer lies beyond our ability to understand. I don't have that answer. Maybe nobody does. But questions like these are what make exploration so fascinating. I was Whscrow. Thank you for traveling through Fersa space with me. Until next time.